We're back here on the Yaffee program. News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN. Your woke detox center, your rehab if you deal with a lot of lefty nonsense in your life. You feel me. You feel me. You listen to me. It's like, that's like an old thing. You feel me? You feel me? Yeah, it doesn't really make sense what I say. Anyway, you listen to me, you feel better is what I meant to say. All right, let's end the show like we usually do. We have the Yaffee program rewind. And it is that time of the show where I remind you, if you missed any of it live, the podcast is up on the website, WVNN.com, or anywhere you subscribe, anywhere you get your podcasts. And I post a lot of the segments as well on my social media. So like the Yaffee Facebook page, follow me on X at Yaffee, or Instagram at Yaffee Live. We talked at the beginning of the show about the latest with redistricting. So Governor Kay Ivey has called a special session. But it's not to redraw the maps to get all Republicans. It's to allow to revert back to the original map that was drawn that was rejected by the courts. That would basically leave Terry Sewell safe, but Shamari's Figures district would be changed, which would probably help Jerry Carl. We talked about this as well with Todd Stacey, the interview I did with him. The podcast of that is up. I had the details also during the Alabama bullet points and some of the Democratic reaction. But my main take on all of this, well, first, I got to tell you the take from AL.com's Kyle Whitmire, who just hates, I don't know if he hates himself, he hates the state, but he literally said a line that we could be going back to the Confederacy because of stuff like this. Alabama. He wrote that. That was published at AL.com. And they believe it. Well, actually, I don't know if he really believes it, but they said it with a straight face. But my general take, the court looked at this and said, the Constitution says equal protection under the law. If you're gerrymandering solely based on race, and the court is forcing you to do that as a legislature, or actually, in Alabama's case, they actually redrew the map themselves. The court did. They appointed a panel. That is not equal protection under the law. That is treating one state differently than other states, but it's also treating one race differently than another race. So this was also a big topic during the Sunday News Show's recap. I replayed some, and I'll do it here, replayed some cuts from CBS Face the Nation where Georgia Senator Raphael Warnock basically tried to make the argument that we have not made any progress in this country on the racial issue, and that if we get rid of something like this, we're going to go back to Jim Crow. So yes, they're playing the race card. They think this still works. The Democrat Party does not know what to do if they don't play identity politics. They are just obsessed still with identity politics. Go ahead if you can. Play Raphael Warnock, cut one for me.
Why do you call that a defeat for American democracy?
Margaret, let's be clear. What happened this week is nothing less than a massive and devastating blow, not only to our democracy, but particularly to people of color in the South. This question about intent is on its head misleading, and it ignores our history. We had 100 years after the 15th Amendment was passed, which on paper gave black people the right to vote, but with supposedly or putatively race-neutral methods for 100 years, the right to vote was denied. But in more recent history, the Supreme Court, this same conservative Supreme Court, hobbled Section 5 of the Voting Rights Act in 2013 with Shelby versus Holder. Since then, we've seen the racial turnout gap get wider and wider, not smaller. And it has grown twice as fast in the states that used to be under Section 5. We will see a devastating impact as a result of this. And now more than ever, we've got to stand up and fight for our democracy.
All right, there you go. Now, I pointed out the statistics on that. The black voter turnout has gone down since 2012, but that was off of historic highs under Obama. And relatively speaking, historically, black voter turnout is still pretty high. It's not as high as it was under Obama for understandable reasons, but those are the statistics. So we talked about that. If you missed any of the Sunday News Show's recap, you can check it out. Iran also came up, played some cuts. In fact, go on and play Todd Blanche. Cut one for me real quick, Walker.
Is the United States at war with Iran?
No. I mean, what President Trump said this weekend is absolutely true. My job as the acting attorney general is to make sure that the president, that we all are doing the right thing legally, and we absolutely are. As we said to Congress last week, there has been nothing going on, no hostilities, no exchange of fire since in almost a month. And how do you end a conflict? How do you end this? You have a ceasefire. And that's exactly what we have. And Congress knows that, and the leadership knows that.
All right, there you go. So we talked about that earlier. The podcast is up. Appreciate you listening to the show. Thanks to Walker for What's Trending and for producing the show. And I'll be back tomorrow at the same time. See you then.
It's the Yaffee Program on WVNN.
Hallmark Cards presents Mother's Day at Walgreens. Celebrate every mother figure in your life with a Hallmark card at Walgreens. Show how much she means to you and how deeply she's loved. A Hallmark card is the perfect way to say thank you for all she does. Don't forget, Mother's Day is Sunday, May 10th. Visit Walgreens today to find the perfect Hallmark Mother's Day card and make her feel truly special. Mother's Day means Hallmark cards at Walgreens.
You didn't start a business just to keep the lights on. You're here to sell more today than yesterday. You're here to win. Lucky for you, Shopify built the best converting checkout on the planet. Like the just one tapping, ridiculously fast acting, sky-high sales stacking, champion of checkouts. That's the good stuff right there. So if your business is in it to win it, win with Shopify. Start your free trial today at shopify.com/win.
When the moments in your life are too important to miss, you can trust O'Reilly Auto Parts to keep you and your plans on the road. Our professional parts people can test your vehicle's battery and even give it a charge if needed. In most cases, we can install your new battery for free. It's just one of the many services we provide at O'Reilly Auto Parts to ensure life's best moments don't find you stranded.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Jim Rome takes on sports.
Why? Because I have a job to do.
With rapid-fire takes.
So I don't want to hear from you lava pigs on this notion today. No idea what you're talking about. You're complaining more than you like to breathe air. It's like you get up in the morning only to complain and cry and moan on social media about things that you don't even understand.
He's the Spitfire of sports smack.
Take advantage of it. Get up in here.
The Jim Rome Show podcast.
What's your beef?
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
You've been warned.